Now I was rushing, Scorpio, to get yours started and totally missed your card because I'm using the Day of the Dead deck, and your card is called Santa Muerta in this deck. It's the death card, obviously, but so I'm beginning again, but that's what you get for not tuning in properly. So your song, what I've got is Why Does It Always Rain on Me? I've no idea who it is. I've heard it over the years, but I don't know who it is, so I will put it in the comments underneath. Remember that any names, dates, times, lyrics of the songs, stories in the videos, anything, or the song itself could have deep meaning for you. It might be all or part, because one of you, everything will slot into place. Some of you, bits of it will, because spirit all get together and they're chattering away in my ear. And that's why at the beginning it's really hard for me to concentrate on my guard to figure out which power we're in. I call him Astral DJ. He's only one of my guards, but he's the one that comes through with the cards. So he didn't used to butt in with the cards. He used to stay out of the cards, but now he's finding that it's easier for me not to wake me up at 4 o'clock in the morning unless it's really important, and he'll join me on the card reading. So whoever he is, he loved his music. He knows all about stereos. He's a record buff like me. I don't really do modern CDs and stuff. I have got them, but I prefer vinyl. So Santa Muerta, Day of the Dead. I prefer Day of the Dead to Samhain, Halloween. I like the pagan holidays, but the Day of the Dead seems more fitting, really. I like to remember family members who have passed, just as I do on New Year's Eve. So, Spirit, Santa Muerta. That doesn't look much different to my flower, does it? That's beautiful. So, TikTok. I don't want to miss it again because I had to redo this video, so I don't want to miss it again. But it's not a picture that I'm used to, so I can't imagine it in my head very well. Look, what if I've missed it again? It's obviously something I'm not supposed to tell you, but there we go. Last part again. If I've missed it this time. There she is. Okay. Well, if you're a female, that is you, Scorpio. It's a female that loves unconditionally, but she has to remember that that unconditional love should be also for herself. So love yourself more. Something is returning from the past that should have been settled a long time ago and will come back until you do settle it. Could be as simple as a toothache, but something needs to be settled, or perhaps razed to the ground to begin again. Those born on the 20th, living or past date for your diary and address. Massively important in a negative way. Change is coming, and you don't like change, you're a fixed sign, but it's a good thing. It will bring you a run of good luck. Yin yang, the positive, the negative, the shadow side, the light. Those born on the 10th, living or past date for your diary and address. Massively important in a positive way. Three of Cups, no celebrations. At the minute, we're still all in partial lockdown, aren't we? So no celebrations, no reunions. So there is something here. It's not meant to give you hope of reuniting with someone from the past. So something is coming back to be settled, for you to have closure. It could be to do with a man in uniform. It could be to do with a man in uniform with a dark complexion, or just a dark complexion. So anything I say about this man could be one or all of those things. It could be a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn gentleman. He is someone who was once at the top of his field, possibly a businessman, or a soldier, something like that. But he is, if you're expecting an apology, it's not coming. So if you're arranging to meet up with somebody to hopefully reconcile, that's not going to happen, because he's not going to apologise. This is a very stubborn man. Could be a man with a limp. If it's about finances and career, that's not going to go anywhere either. So the change is what you need, and you might not like it, but it's for the best, because then you get your wishes and dreams come true. So the answer is yes. They're agreeing with what I've said. There will be some sort of meeting or celebration coming up, but there'll be no apology, and it won't be, if you're expecting to get back with an ex, that's not going to happen. This is somebody, possibly, or part of you, that is cutting someone out of their life, or is very clear now about what she wants. This could be a part of you or someone else. This can be a divorced or widowed female. This can be a doctor, a priest, or a lawyer. Generally, she's dark-haired. But I see marigolds sticking out for ears. She may be blonde, because she is in some decks. But she's detached. She has realised what she doesn't want. And in turn, that will bring her to realise how to go forward, what changes need to be made to get what she does want. Now, your card is about the reproductive organs and shared resources. It's also about endings and new beginnings. We have 9 months there, so there could be an unwanted pregnancy. But there could also be problems around children or childbirth. It's something you're in denial about, and for some of you, if you are the widow, you're still grieving, and that's all right. There's no time limit on grief. If you are recently divorced, you may be grieving that, and if you've lost a child, you may be grieving that. But don't stay there too long, is what Spirit's saying. Don't stay in your cocoon and stay safe, because something has to be settled. Something has to end now so that you can make a new beginning. And the number 10 is massively important. So it's the only other, well, no, I tell a lie. 20 is negative energy, 10 is positive energy. Living or past date for your diary and address. They're the 2 major arcana, so the most important cards. Yeah, you don't see this as a positive change. You don't want change. You didn't want things to change. Why did they have to change? But they are changing, and it will eventually, you'll see why eventually. But right now I think you're thinking, I didn't want that. There is a water sign child, possibly a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, or an offer of unconditional love from a younger person, but it's not quite what you wanted. And again, they've doubled up already. That 20 is very negative energy. It is something that returns, and you need to address it. It could be toothache, it could be anything. It is my dentist card, but it's any issue that you thought was settled that isn't. And you need to walk away. You need to leave the misery of the past behind. My right hand's itching, that means money is coming in for you. Yeah, children, childhood memories, nostalgia, looking back on the past, somebody returning from the past. But like I said, it is a positive, you're seeing it as a positive thing, a return from the past, but not necessarily love. If you're hoping to be reunited with someone, that's not going to happen. But there will be closure, and you'll be able to look back happily instead of with malice. There is a separation here. So I know either through death or divorce or just the ending of a relationship. It's sad, but it needed to come to an end. And the children will be fine if you're worried about the children. There is a legacy that you've both built that will shine on in your children if you put the effort into this. So it may be if you made the decision to leave somebody recently or get divorced recently, that you can now be amicable and talk about the children and maintenance and stuff like that. Things will work out better. It may be if a partner has passed, that they're telling you how well you both did bringing the children up and that they're proud of them. However, they are warning of avoiding buying new vehicles. Watch out for mechanical problems on the vehicle itself, accidents, fire engines, ambulances. So that may be how they're passed, if it's somebody that passed. It's cancer. It is not cancer, the disease, but it could be, I've learned from spirit that they only have so many cards to go through, so it could be cancer that they're passed from. It can be a cancer person. It is today's date, the 7th or the 25th. So it could be delays in travel. It could be parking tickets, speeding fines. It's also a word of warning for some to check your breasts. There may be issues there. Don't dither. Don't mess about. You go and get it checked out. But just be aware of all those things. The bottom of the deck, again, we've got no apology. And we've got the gentleman in uniform or a businessman that was once a good friend and now could be a dangerous enemy. So they're warning you of the men in uniform. I did put a post about what the watermelon is. It's somebody that was ostracised from their adopted family and then were reunited at a later date, as in this situation, and their story ended happily because they forgive the people that ostracised them. But I don't believe that this person will, or that you should forgive the people that pushed you away, pushed you out. This may be either way, because we can flip it. It could be you or them. Either you've ostracised somebody or someone's ostracised you. But there's no forgiveness here. There's no sorries. So don't expect any sorries. If you do, you'll be sadly lacking. So you've just got to decide whether you want this in your life. The same with if you'd split up with somebody in a marriage. And obviously, they're not part of your life anymore, but if you've got kids together, you have to be able to get on. They're not going to apologise for their behaviour. They're not going to change who they are. And you've just got to accept that, and don't try to drag it on, really. Walk away from the misery. So whether it's grief through the loss of someone, or grief through abandonment, or there's no sign of a third party here. I think you just grow apart. You've got to forgive, forget, and move on. No, it's not easy sometimes. So Cancer is the only sign that we've got mentioned so far. A Cancer sign. Something is hidden from you, or you are confused about something. There will be delays in travel. There will be blockages put in your path. Those born on the 19th, living or past, date for your diary and address, massively important in a negative way. So obstacles in your path, and it could be to do with children and travel. We have a Leo influence now. It's not, well, it is the major arcana for Leo. And a doctor, priest or lawyer of the male can't gives bad advice or misdiagnosis, illness, bad temper, and impatience. So maybe it's the way they passed, that somebody made a misdiagnosis and you're very confused about all that, and you're impatient to find out what's going on. Somebody has exploited the situation to its fullest. You may not find reciprocity with others. So remember, you're a mirror, and what you give out is what you get back. You need to have equal reciprocity. There's no going back now. Like I said, this is, if there is any sort of meeting or reunion, it won't be to reunite. It will be to discuss matters and get them clear as to where you are. Draw a line in the sand and decide how you're going to work together moving forwards, if you have to have any contact. I think you do because of family issues. Perhaps the extended family, it goes deeper than you, because there's a lot of people, divorce or death, that feel they can't be in your life anymore because of the split, and that's not fair either, because family's still family. Yeah, you have overcome the enemies, whoever they are, and if you choose to, this could be a very amicable situation, but you might have to bite your tongue, and I don't know whether you want to or not, because there's your card again. It's come out the same. So Spirit have done really well to bring your card out in your read, but you're in denial about something, an ending that has to take place, or someone is. So someone doesn't want this to end, but the new beginning will bring you happiness, so you need to settle this. You can stand on your own 2 feet, even if you believe you can't, and so can the other person. You don't need to baby them. 9 years is mentioned, and there's a lot of time in this tradition, the way things have always been done, and it's hard to let go, I know, but once you've finished your grieving, don't stay there too long, because spirits don't want you to wallow in the misery. Then you can move forwards into bigger and better things. It's quite a good and clear read, this one, but you are, or someone is confused. I think they think that you might be wanting to get back together, and they don't. Yeah, there's a male enemy as yet unknown. There's a female that's received the written word, either seen it or received it, and it's distressed her very deeply. They're both gender specific, so I know it's a man and a woman. There is loyalty and fidelity here from someone born 1970 plus or minus 12 February to February. But there is an insane situation. Perhaps for some there was dementia before a passing, or mental issues. There is a Leo mentioned again and again. It's negative energy, it's karmic because they're both reversed. It's lies, deceit and theft. Could be somebody born 1962 plus or minus 12 February to February, but it could be anywhere in the chart. So it could be just somebody familiar to you. There is a gentleman here that drinks too much, or perhaps a female, because that's not gender specific, partying, drugs, etc., overindulging. And a marriage, a commitment, a union. Female enemy. So there's still enemies around in this situation. There is, however, a gentleman that works within the home for people that is a positive energy on this situation, and he may be entering your life if you don't know him already. So you still have enemies that you don't know about. Watch out for those people, a man and a woman. The letter P is possibly important. The number 11 and 12. Number 65, 41, 18, or is that 78? 78 and 27 could have meanings for your enemies. Yeah, don't build in a situation you're not planning on staying. If you're not happy where you are, don't be wasting your bricks building something that's not going to last, is what Spirit's saying. You need to be flexible, don't be stubborn, especially if you're having to communicate with the ex-partner. And you've got to think about the kids, what you've co-created together, and stop sitting on the fence about it. Sort it out. Some people may be holding on longer, trying to hoping that somebody's going to change the man. They're not. So you might as well get this sorted out right now. You may be protecting the kids from the partner. If so, you can't sit on the fence any longer. You've got to do something about it. But there's a higher power at work here. This is divine timing, divine intervention. Yeah, all you can do is clean up your side of the street. Don't try and clean up other people's messes. Don't lie to the kids to protect the kids. Be honest with them. There's ways and means of doing it. You can Google anything nowadays. There's videos about bereavement and divorce within the family. The truth has to be told. Everybody deserves to know the truth in this situation, because I think things have been kept hidden and you want to know the truth. There may be a house move. You may have to sell a house, or you may be planning to move, or you may have to even return to the parental home, and that's not good, is it? So you feel adrift, you feel homeless. Home is always where the heart is, and you don't feel like you've got anywhere that you can call home. No foundations. But a message is coming, even if you don't want to accept it. A phone call, perhaps off the ex. Listen to what they've got to say and try and be the bigger person, is what I'm saying. There is new beginnings. They may have moved on and their girlfriend may be pregnant. Whatever it is, there is news coming, and it's important, and you've got to think about how you can make that work. It's if you've got a partner in spirit, they are sending you messages all the time. Look for the bottles, is what they're saying. It may be a secret message, only you will understand. But be ready for anything. Stay poised. So that was quite a good, clear read, Spirit. Thank you. Yeah, Gemini, I think communication is definitely coming your way. Don't overthink things, and don't, whatever you do, don't try and get revenge. Spirit will sort this out. For some of you, somebody is coming back to reunite, but Spirit is saying don't do it. Because you just about got over it. And if you go back, a leopard does not change their spots, is what they're saying. Your choice there. So no one is free. Even the birds are chained to the sky. And then Bob and Dylan. Communication is massively important. Whether you want to speak to them or not, communication is important. Be versatile and quick at this time. You must also be mindful because people are talking. So there's gossip. And you don't like that. Gemini is a charming sign, so there may be a Gemini involved. I don't think so. I think it's just about communication. Full of whimsy and fun and ruled by the planet Mercury. However, that may be a female Gemini. So I tell a lie. The Lady of the Swords. Geminis are chatty and their minds are like quicksilver. Not because they're boisterous, but because they become bored with anything tedious and not immediately fun. Words are everything to Geminis. They adore books but hardly ever read them entirely. What is important to Gemini is the exchange of ideas and communication. However, they like to discuss ideas but tend to be poor listeners. Geminis are fascinated by their own thoughts rather than the ideas of others. As Geminis are curious about everything, they tend to be experts in a number of different topics. They also love stories and gossip, so be careful whose gossip you listen to. Those intelligent minds should always be fed, whether with gossip or tales. So you might hear some gossip. Don't buy whatever you do, not this week. The twin sign, so there could be twins involved, is one of the smartest in the zodiac. They tend to be insecure in their views and change their opinions often. So somebody may have changed their mind, but that doesn't. But especially if it's a Gemini, they may change it back again. So I wouldn't. Leopards don't change the spots. They're not very patient, so they'll want you to answer straight away. They may not enjoy school that much, yet they thrive when studying something they are truly interested in. So it may be about a Gemini child that you share. Geminis are fickle and dual nature. They change their minds on a whim. What is true for them today may not be tomorrow. They get distracted easily and are highly nervous. A more appropriate word is flighty. So they may go from one relationship to another. It's never about you. It's always about them. So don't beat yourself up and try and think about what went wrong. You just weren't meant for each other. Dual sign Geminis, a lot of them are left-handed or ambidextrous. Geminis are extremely deft at making things with their hands. It's the sign of the brain, so they're always inventing, and the eyes and the nervous system. Geminis are clear, bright eyes that dart around, and they have broad foreheads. They're forever youthful, as they are all air. Geminis are light on their feet. They do have passion, but sometimes they can't find it. Even so, this is the most charming sign, and Geminis have many friends and easily attract romantic partners who share their sense of fun. When this card comes up, you may be the object of discussion, or you may have to talk your way out of a sticky situation. Since communication is the key with Gemini, you may find yourself involved with new forms of technology that help spread your ideas to a wider audience. Such technology would include cameras, computers, tablets, and the next invention to come along. Writing may also figure in, such as creating a blog or writing books, or just being involved with books and publishing. You may find yourself either to be skilled diplomat or asked to teach or give a speech. At this current time, you may find yourself to be highly strung, nervous or excitable, as this is the nature of Gemini, but still able to figure it all out with a probing mind. You may feel as if you're riding high on a lofty energy. Multitasking may be required of you. Gemini is also the sign of soulmates, corresponding to the lovers. So this card can indicate an important romantic relationship has started or will figure in shortly. But the bottom line with the Gemini card is this. Words are important now, so use them very wisely. Words will be imperative regarding the outcome of this reading. The mind and the brain being two minds, fluency. So you may be in two minds of whether to take someone back or not. Beware of double talk and superficiality. Talking too much. Remember that you're on a threshold. So even if you take someone back, you must draw a line in the sand and say, we're not going back to how it was. You need to be happy as well. So, it's about the hands, fingers, the spinal cord, siblings, immediate neighbourhood, youth, twins, puzzles, games, learning and quick learning, schools and involvement in education, mastering a new technology, computers, nervous conditions, being too highly strung to take any real lead, abandoning projects just before they're finished, leaving many things undone, restlessness and indecision, retail businesses and selling things, flea markets and used items, flirtation, friends as lovers and lovers as friends. Pay attention. Be mindful. Communication is important, talking, writing, explanation and versatility. So just remember, you might not get the answers that you want, but you must communicate. Thanks for listening.